So hi again, welcome back in my energy. Third part of my, let's say, twin flame journey. Now I can say it. Now I can say it. My twin flame journey. Yes, right. So the last video we ended on the point that I got information that this blue being was a romantic partner of my body in that medbed, in that pot, that I left there in order to incarnate here and to do something in here. It seems like some kind of mission. It's starting to be more clear for me these days, but I don't want to speak about that right now. So there was this information that I was your partner, or I'm the partner of this body in here. And what am I supposed to do with this information? Of course, it's like, okay, so your brain's starting to like thinking about it, like, okay, so logically, if you are a romantic partner of this body, which is mine, that I left in order to incarnate on the earth, and I know there's a possibility, or I will have a chance to come back into that body. So what are you trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me that I should get ready for the fact that we are lovers? Or what is it about, And I think this was exactly this. This was the point. Because after this, when I realized that, things starting to happen, and every another meditation, every time I went back, something shifted. It was like this profound peace. It was really like somebody's controlling it. I think it was him. I still think it was him. And more I'm speaking about him, I'm getting quite sure it was him. And there's a bit of possibility that this encounter, this my experience with that being of quite a few years ago, I speak about it last video, that I stopped it because it was too intense for me. There is really possibility it might be him before, and we were like testing each other, can we handle it or can we not? Maybe okay, right now I'm just creating something, some story, I'm thinking about it, but why not? Because it was so intense. It was like, I'm here. Before it was like, I'm here. I was waiting for you. And we belong together. Can you feel it? And it was like, he was like openly giving all his emotion, everything what he felt, like on the plate to me, like, here is it. That was the reason why it was so, it could be so, or it was so intense. And even if not, I'm sure he was with me all the time, because I got this information later on, whatever, and he saw what happened. And I've got this feeling like he took a lesson from that. So this time, when we truly meet, he did it differently. It was like he just calmed me down. The question is if it's on purpose, but I felt like he is controlling it. He is like, he was controlling this feeling of the profound peace. And like he switched off all the rest of my emotions for a reason. It was a reason. Because maybe he knew that if this will appear on our first meeting, maybe he knew that I will just like stop it, I won't give him a chance to come closer to me, if it makes sense, whatever. So after that, we have, and it was important. I started to think about it. I started to little bit the same, like he gave me a few meditation to get used to his frequency. After this, he gave me a few meditation to get used to this information that we might be, let's say, twin flames or whatever. I don't think I had this information. What is the twin flame for me? Or I didn't decide what is a twin flame for me before. Or I did somewhere around our meetings. So yes, I know, I do remember it, because I know there was a moment when I wasn't even thinking about him to be my romantic partner or whatever, twin flame, soulmate, whatever, that we can have this romantic connection. And after he told me, or this information came, I started to think about it, of course, and to examine this feeling, like how would it be, or is it even possible, or what I'm feeling about this information. Am I ready to step into this, like feel how is it to be in a romantic relationship with him or not, like this. And I started to get used to it, and I said, okay, I got it. I know this information is important, but I didn't know why. And he started to show me, or it started to come into me, these informations. And it was like, first it was on an energetic level. I had one of our first like it's sorry guys, it's really hard to even explain it in Czech, not even in English, and how to say it. Okay, for example, we've got this meditation. First of this meditation was that our chakras in one of this meditation, it's very spontaneous. I never know where I go. This is what I do in meditation. I just release every control, and I just say, what is here for me, what I have to do, what I have to see, just show me. And what happened was, like, I was guided with him to match, we were supposed to match our chakras, if it makes sense. We just started to do this thing that we were standing in front of ourselves, and I saw our chakras like they are connecting, from, I don't know which way it was going, it doesn't matter. It was from the crown chakras, and I saw those lights. Actually, it was kind of like meditation, and we were connecting on the chakras level. chakra system, you know, and sending each other like those energies of those of heart chakra, throat chakra, you know, you can imagine. Shoot. I don't want to get stuck in here. So it started like this. And this was quite deep, you know, like I was never doing with anyone this thing. Like I didn't understand why, like, or I did understand it based on this information that we are romantic partners. It was very profound connection, you know, like, have you ever do this with someone? Like, have you ever tried to connect with somebody else's chakras? It was like, okay. As I said, why not? But it was like this, and there was one moment when I started to feel romantic feelings towards him, and it was more like it wasn't like I still felt that it's not in my hands, this, you know. It was like he was tuning all my feelings all that time. Like he tuned me from the beginning into this profound peace, and he didn't let any other feeling to surface to go, you know, to go out, until I like realized something. So when I realized and when I accepted, this is as well very important, when I accepted that we can be romantic partners, then he took us, something's trying to correct me. It was like we were our higher self, or my higher self, or this soul, on the soul level. I was like working with him. I knew what I'm doing. I did agree, but on my level, like this human, me, Lucia level, it felt like he's doing it. But now I can feel it was really cooperation. It was like, no, I had the same amount of right to decide what to do, even if I didn't feel that way from the human perspective, if it makes sense. It's important to say it. I don't know why. So anyway, in that time, for my human me, it was like he is in charge, like he's doing everything. But it seems right now I've got this information that no, I just wasn't aware of it, you know. It just looked like that, but it wasn't like that. It was a cooperation. I had the same right or word as he did in this process. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's new for me. Okay. So, when we started to connect our chakra system, I thought that time he decided to bring on the surface more of my feelings. And it was more like he took this profound peace away a little bit, you know, and to let this another feelings I had like go on the surface. And I started to feel like this attraction to him. And logically, I say, obviously, when we are, when we are connecting on the heart chakra, you know, on level, I think this is, you know, the outcome of it, logical outcome of it, I think. So I started to have a feelings to him, if I'm correcting or whatever. So, and it was like he, or maybe, or my soul in tandem with him, they were correcting those feelings, you know. It was like in one meditation, I felt like really strongly, like I'm starting to feel something to him, like falling in love with him, and this chemistry. And I just remind that he looked, was human, or I am human, and he looked for me, or he showed him to me as this being of another race, or another, you know, like galactic being, which is a humanoid. He has, you know, it's a humanoid, but he is blue, and he is a different, he's got a different physicalities, let's say. I think he had, not that it's important, but I think they have 4 fingers, not 5, only 4 fingers, but I'm not sure about it. And maybe I will speak about it later, whatever. And these big eyes, and, you know, from the human perspective, it was like, it's starting to be more like some manga stuff or whatever. Whatever. But yes, it was like, am I able to feel this even to someone? To be honest, I am the kind of person, I was like literally maybe over 1 year in love with a cartoon, like, how to say that, cartoon character, you know. So I don't really care about and even I was even in love with Ninja Turtles with Leonardo, I think, and it's like turtle. So it's not a big, like, I would just say that, a problem for me if he looks differently this way. It's not a big deal for me. Whatever. So we had a kind of intimacy between us. It was like, it was the way we choose to go this way, and it was another step, you know. This, we couldn't miss it, you know. So yes, I'm going to say that we made love. This was the first time we made love, and it was important because this level of intimacy, I don't want to say the word on sex, you know, because I don't feel it this way. It was making love, it wasn't that, and I don't want to say it because of YouTube. I don't know if it's gonna be correct or not, whatever. So this is it. This is the part which is really, but you know, I do believe that this act of love, it's actually a magic. You know, it's very magical. We have no idea. Lots of us have no idea what is it truly about. And I feel and I know deep inside this potential, or it's like in the past lives I knew what is it about, like in full spectrum. In here I forgot, but I've got this inner knowing. So it's very important. It just has to be there. If you can select it, you can take it out and go on this journey without it, you know. And in this point it was very important, because from this, when we let's say did it, and afterwards it start another, let's say, level of our connection, you know. And I started to see him. He showed me, he took me on this, how to say that, on this journey of remembering who I truly am. And this was only the first step, you know, this past incarnation, this body lying in this spot and in this med bed, it just expanded my mind already. But afterward he started to change. He started to change into, he showed me himself like another, I can explain it like another past lives, you know, we had, and I always, there was this information that we were there together. And okay, the first thing he showed me, he took it happened suddenly, from nowhere. I saw him as I was used to see him, so this blue version of him, and suddenly he showed me himself as a man, as a human. I don't know if it was like a human, but because I'm sure there is lots of nations that they look like we. It doesn't matter, but he showed me him as a human man. And this was, for me, to be honest, I couldn't stand him this way. This was a huge lesson for me. If he was in his, let's say, appearance of this blue galactic being, there was this calmness, and there was something I got used to. It was like, how better word is like, he wasn't dangerous for me for some reason. It was safe to be with him when he looked like this. But on a certain way, there was the time when he decided to show him to me in a human version, let's say, and I couldn't stand that. It hurted so much. It hurted so much. It was more like, oh, no way. If you wanna stay with me, or if you wanna be nearby me, don't you dare to be in this version of you. I don't know why, or maybe I don't know why. I know why this was happening, because it was like, it's starting to get too real, and it's starting to, he was triggering me. This human version of him was triggering inside of me everything what was unhealed, every, like, limiting beliefs about myself, about am I worthy, am I pretty enough, really this kind of stuff. Am I pretty enough? Do I deserve that? If it was questioning everything about me, and I couldn't stand that. It really hurts. It really hurted, or whatever. It was very painful for me, and I said no. And I'm sure he knew, because he was really like giving me this in like dose, in like, it was like, I can feel it hurts you right now, so I switch back, you know. So it was like he was switching between these two versions, and he knew that every time he will show me the human version, he will trigger something inside of me, and I knew it as well. So I started to work on it, if it makes sense. I was like, why? What was it? Why do I believe this? Or what is it? And it wasn't always pretty. It was like, I was really like, okay, that's enough. I don't want this. I don't want to play this anymore. I just want to stop it. And there were days like I was like really sure that no, I don't want to, don't come to me anymore. But it was hard. It was hard because something happened. Oh, okay. So again, I will end this video in here. So he showed me his human version, and that triggered me, and I had to work with this, okay, if I wanted to continue in this relationship. That's all. Continuing in the next video. Thank you for watching.